Hi folks, welcome to yet another episode of Gourmet on the Road, and this is an episode with a difference. We're curating a 7-course Italian sit-down dinner, and you're going to join me for a ringside experience of the entire evening and also behind the scenes to see what it takes to put together an experience like this. So we're here at Alloro, the Italian restaurant at the Oterra, Electronic City, Bengaluru, and we've put together a very special evening. And this one's called Gusto di Italia, Flavours of Alloro. We've put together a 7-course menu with the chef, and we're expecting about 40 guests to join us this evening. It's about 6:30 now and the dinner commences at 7:30. So let's go and see what's happening as the team gets ready for this very special dinner right here at the Oterra, Bengaluru. Let's go. And the space is looking set. So this is where we will do the Prosecco welcome with some sparkling wine. We also have the lounge right here. You can see a lovely wine rack there at the back. So guests are going to come in at 7:30, sip on a glass of Prosecco before they make their way to the table for dinner to commence at 8 p.m. You know, I like the visual aesthetics of this restaurant. It feels cozy, it feels warm. The bar's going to be really busy this evening. Are you guys ready for the evening? Yes, sir. Yes? Is the Prosecco ready? Lovely. So we've got the Prosecco that is chilled. So as soon as guests come in, they'll be offered a glass of chilled Prosecco. There's nothing like a glass of chilled wine as soon as you've arrived to begin the evening. So we've got the Proseccos, we've got the wines, and we've got a whole bunch of other beverages that are going to be served at this dinner tonight. As you can see, the tables are all set for 40 guests that we are expecting today. Now the tables are aligned perfectly. There's a lot of personalized touches that actually go into dinners like these. So for instance, we've got 40 guests and each guest has been allocated a seat at the table with name tags that you see here. And then of course you've got the menu for the evening. This is a 7-course menu, so you've got the welcome that happens, you've got the antipasto, and then you've got 6 courses that the guests will be served at the table. An interesting thing, even the menu is personalized, so you have the name of the guest right here on the menu. So there's a lot of work that goes into putting together an experience like this. Also, to give you a sense of scale, at this dinner we have 40 guests. These 40 guests will be served 280 plates. So in the course of 3 hours, there will be 280 plates that will find their way out from the kitchen to the tables and back. You know, that's the logistic that's involved in an experience like this. So how many people do we have in the service team today?
So basically each table will be 5 servers. So we have divided 20 people into 4 teams.
20 people into 4 teams.
And each table will be handled by one of the manager.
So each table of 10 will have 5 servers, so which means each server looks only after 2 guests. That's the attention that guests are going to get at this dinner. Incredible. Hi Chef, how are you?
I'm fine sir, good evening.
Good evening. I'm with Chef Suvaranjan Banerjee, who's the culinary architect of this evening. So Chef, the tables are looking great.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everything is set at the kitchen too.
Absolutely. We'll start off of course with the antipasties.
So you've got your...
these are the table dips.
These are table dips. So you've got the maitre d' butter, you've got the tapenade, and what is that, Chef?
That is sun-dried tomato and garlic and basil dip.
Oh, lovely. And you're going to do some fresh breads with this.
Absolutely.
You've got a wood-fired pizza oven right in the heart of the restaurant. And that's where the breads will come from. So, you know, I was just telling you about the detailing that's gone into this dinner. So we sat down about 2 months ago and we went through the complete tasting. And just this week, you know, we did another full and final tasting with all the dishes once again.
The boys have been really practicing hard across the table. A lot of effort has actually gone into this particular event, and I'm sure it will bring in colors tonight.
So Chef, this is the list.
It's basically the entire service sequence in the form of an Excel. You know like who is the guest, who is serving, who is managing the table, who is the runner to the table, and what exactly that guest is having.
You should capture this spreadsheet right here. I mean, if you look at all the detailing that's gone in, there are 4 spreadsheets here, each one pertaining to a table in the restaurant. Each table is organized guest-wise, and each guest has been located a server, and of course all the dishes that the guests will be tasting tonight. I mean, that's the kind of detailing that goes into curating an experience like this.
Absolutely.
This is the calm before the storm. We're going to come in a little later in the middle of service, and you will definitely see that the kitchen is not going to be as calm and placid as this.
You're composed right now.
You're composed right now. They're going to be composed even then, but a different kind of composure, if I may say that. So Chef, we're going to leave you to get ready for the dinner.
Thank you so much. I'll see you on the table.
See you at the table, and good luck, everybody. This is going to be a fantastic dinner.
We are just preparing some antipasties over there.
So as you can see, these are all bite-sized appetizers that the guests will be served as they arrive. So we just want the guests to have a little taste of Alloro as they enter the restaurant with a glass of chilled Prosecco. So good luck, chefs.
Thank you.
All the best. So as you can see, there's a lot of work happening in all areas of the kitchen out here. Hi Raghu, how's it going? Everything is looking great.
Fantastic, thank you.
So I'm with Raghu Nair, who's the general manager for the Oterra.
Hello.
So are you excited about the evening?
Oh, very much.
Yes. I think there's a lot of preparation that's gone in.
Oh, it's been happening for the last 1 week, like we're getting ready for this event.
I'm sure this is going to be a fabulous evening.
You're going to rock.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this.
Same as.
Thank you. So most of our guests are here, and in a few minutes we'll be seated at the table.
I would like to welcome all of you to Alloro, and thanks for joining us for Gusto d'Italia.
Well, this evening is going to be special. To be honest, Alloro is not a restaurant that I come to very often. But every time I come here, I go back with a very special experience. And Subaranjan, of course, joined this hotel a few months ago. And so I said we have to do something special here at Alloro, and that was really the genesis for Gusto d'Italia or Flavours of Alloro. And I know you're going to have a great evening.
This entire menu of the dishes has been inspired by Chef Antonio Carluccio, and he's cuisine beliefs when it comes to Italian food. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy a great evening. The team has put in a lot of effort. Please enjoy your evening. Thank you.
So we're all seated for dinner. The evening has just begun. We just had the amuse-bouche, which was a lovely beetroot tortellini. The evening has begun on just the right note. Cheers. So our first course is here, and this is the burrata that we're tasting. It's such a pretty dish, as you can see. So I've got this burrata, which is the cheese. So you've got some olives, Kalamata olive, and there's this lovely orange dressing that's been drizzled on the burrata. You can see all that creaminess of the burrata oozing out. Wow. The creaminess of the cheese works so well with the citrus that comes from the orange segments. It just cuts through the creaminess. I just love this combination. You've got the cheese, you've got the orange, you've got the candied olives. So you've got the creaminess of the cheese, you've got the citrus sourness of the orange, and then you have the salty sweet flavor of the Kalamata olive. This is a great salad to begin the dinner with. Do you like it?
Yeah, the whole grain mustard is a very good complement to the burrata. The burrata by itself is like so rich and so creamy, and to have the mustard just on your palate is lovely. Also, I like the freshness of the orange.
So we're in the kitchen and we've just finished the first course, which was a burrata. Let's go in and take a look at what's happening in the kitchen.
Next goes with the soup. Now we're just waiting for them to clear all the tables.
So the soups are ready to be plated. You've got one side for the vegetarian soup, which is the minestrone. And then you've got the other section for the chicken soup, which is the stracciatella. And as you can see, the service team is ready right here, ready to pick up the soups and take it back to the table. There are how many of us here in the service line? 20. 20 people in the service team and 40 guests outside. An incredible ratio when it comes to service and detailing.
Okay guys, when you approach the table, before you clear, check may I.
So the service team is now headed out to clear the previous course. They will come with the empty plates of the last course and come back here and pick up the next course, which is the soup.
Okay guys, all the stracciatella indicate, all the stracciatella is over here. So if you have a stracciatella as a choice, that has to be picked up from here. Once you come ahead, you have the minestrone from here. So I'll give you the minestrone. Clear? Done.
So the soup has arrived and I'm having the chicken stracciatella. It's quite an aromatic broth. How's your soup?
It's delightful.
Yeah.
I would never expected a minestrone to be like this. It's almost like a French style in a way. You know, the creaminess, just a little, and the flavors are like just so light but very gentle flavors. Wonderful.
And my chicken stracciatella is equally satisfying. So it's got this nice savory chicken broth. You've got these dumplings of chicken and then you have the egg drops and you got some veggies just for that added crunch. It's a tasty soup and I'm glad that they've only served a half bowl of the soup. So this is a 7-course meal. So we want to pace our appetite for the duration of the entire dinner.
Pick up करते टाइम प्लेट अरेंज कर लेना वैसे कि गार्निश यू जस्ट लीव द प्लेट ऑन द टेबल ऐसे पोजीशन में लेके जाना है. ओके पिक अप आइटा बोल.
How is it? Very good. Yeah. Well, they're loving their tortellini, which is made with the cavolo nero, the black cabbage and the spinach. I've got my risotto here with the lobster. The plate looks wonderful. So the risotto is cooked perfectly. It's al dente, it's just perfect on the bite and it's creamy. And what's interesting is that the risotto also has flecks of chili and also a bit of the Gondoraj lemon, the lemon rind that's grated onto the risotto. So you've got that rich creaminess punctuated by these chili spike. The lobster is cooked just perfectly, it's juicy and it's got that nice salty briny bite. It's a great dish and the portion size is just perfect for the fact that it's part of a 7-course dinner. This is a great risotto. I think we're doing very well on time, so we sat down for dinner at 8 o'clock. I think the first course, the amuse-bouche came out at 8:15 and it's 9:30 and we've done the amuse-bouche, we've done the salad, we've done the soup and the first plate, the premi piatti. All right. We also have Shefali here. Shefali, are you enjoying the evening?
Absolutely, it's a beautiful evening.
Yes.
So I had the risotto
Okay.
and I had minestrone
The
soup.
minestrone soup. It was a very different minestrone. It was not your typical minestrone.
No, it
This
is not. I mean, when you think about minestrone, you think about red broth of a lot of vegetables, some pasta, maybe some beans, some fresh cheese been thrown into it. But this is very different. Where it is broth of the freshest produce of summer.
And even the tortellini was well appreciated. So I'm sitting on my table and I've got the vegetarians right opposite me.
Right.
And so whenever you're doing a dinner like this, you know that the non-vegetarian food is always going to be
Yes.
great. But I think the challenge is always, for a chef, is to always please the vegetarian
vegetarian
diner.
palate.
You know, to get the vegetarian diner to go back happy, satisfied, delighted. Right, and I think that's what's happening. I think people love the summer minestrone.
Oh, yes.
Of course, the burrata is a big hit, right? I mean, people The people who say, you know what, give me 3 of these burratas and I'll happily have that. That's all that I want to have. It oozes out. It was perfect. It was creamy. And then of course the tortellini as well. Super. So great start.
Same here.
We're halfway there.
Yes, we are halfway there.
I'll probably drop into the kitchen a little
see you
later.
there. I'll see you
All
there.
right.
Done.
See you. So I've just got my palate cleanser. This is a sweet tamarind and mint sorbet. You need a sorbet when you're doing an extended meal like this, 7 courses. You need something which comes in as an interlude, as a bit of a break in between all the dishes that you're tasting. And what you want for the sorbet to do is just give you that break on the palate. This one does just that. So you've got the sweet, you've got the sourness, and then you've got that mint. But the good thing is that it fades away quite quickly on the palate. So you taste it, and in a few seconds, it's all gone. And you're ready for the next course that's going to come in. So you're plating one of the main courses here. So what's really important now at this stage? Coordination.
That's it. Rest everything is ready. We just need to take everything out, ensure all the boys are plating at the same time. Somebody is plating just 10 plates, somebody is doing 8, somebody is doing 18. So it depends on the combination. So it has to all go together. So once it is ready, that's the first part of the coordination, or the toughest part of the menu is going on right now. And if you can pull it out, I think the rest is cakewalk.
That's right. This is the lamb that's being plated right here.
So there's a seafood cream with some seafood.
Oh yes,
That's
so
for this thing.
you can already see the fish is found its way to the plate. So the fish has come from the oven, it's finding its way onto the plate. So the mushroom is being plated right here. You've got the porcini cream, which is the mushroom sauce as the base. And then of course you have that portobello. And then you have the oysters, and then you'll have the truffles that will be shaved on top. This is smelling so good. I can smell that earthy, heady aroma of the mushrooms. This is smelling so good. The chicken is being plated now, even as we speak. So you've got the peppers, and then you've got the chicken. This is the balsamic grilled chicken. So there's an incredible amount of energy right now in this kitchen. There are 4 dishes that are being plated in different quantities. What is important is that these 4 dishes come together on those 38 plates, and those 38 plates troop out at the same time outside the kitchen to the diners who are waiting in the restaurant out there. We'll see them on the other side in the restaurant. So I have my second main course here, which is the Chilean sea bass. You've got this seafood sauce here. Let's taste the fish first. The fish is grilled perfect, and the skin almost fried to a crisp. And you've got this rich, decadent seafood sauce. Just brilliant. I think all the flavor of the fish, the fish is flaky, it's gentle in its flavor, and then you have the skin of the fish, which packs in all that flavor. It's delicious. This is a rich seafood sauce. So you've got some mussels, you've got some shrimp. I think for all those here who love the seafood, this is going to be a brilliant dish. As our guests were enjoying their main course, the kitchen staff were busy plating the dessert course, tiramisu with coffee semi-freddo.
So this is a perfect pairing of dessert and the music.
It is.
No, isn't it?
There's this silence so people are enjoying their dessert, right?
It's called the sweet silence.
The sweet silence. So the dessert course has just arrived, and as people are enjoying the dessert,
Coffee powder, right?
there's this hush of silence that's descended upon the room. That's a good sign. It means people are enjoying the tiramisu. It's a very unusual presentation for the tiramisu, isn't it? With the berries and the coffee. So I think the tartness of the berry just kind of cuts the creaminess of the mascarpone. Yeah. And then of course you have the coffee semi-freddo. It's got just enough coffee to cleanse your palate of all the creamy mascarpone. I think it's a great contrast. So you've got this rich, creamy tiramisu, and then you've got coffee semi-freddo. Just kind of cleanses your palate of all that creamy, just kind of refreshes your palate. So the verdict on the table is that the tiramisu and the espresso semi-freddo has been a fitting end to this wonderful meal here. Not the end though, we still have a cheese course that's finding its way to the table before coffee and petit four. So we have a final course for the evening, the cheese course. I've got the blue cheese, I've got the brie, the cheddar and the parmesan. Just a sort of end to an indulgent evening. So what we're going to do next is go into the kitchen and bring out the service team and the kitchen staff and the chefs. You guys have converted 40 people who didn't know Alloro into ambassadors for Alloro. That's what you guys have done. So you guys deserve a huge round of applause. Fantastic. Fantastic. Really good. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had a great time? Yes. Have you had a great time? Yes. Louder. Yes. All right, so it's time to bring out the artists, the magnificent ladies and gentlemen at the Oterra who've been responsible for staging, for curating such a fabulous experience. I must thank the team here at Oterra. Raghu, you've got a fabulous team here. I think all the guests who leave Oterra tonight after this beautiful meal, I think go out as ambassadors, as emissaries for the Oterra. And Chef Subranjan, you've still got that Italian magic. 10 or 15 years on from the time that you first began. I think this has been a brilliant meal. Thank you once again to all of you for staging such an impeccably wonderful, magical experience here at Alloro. Thank you. Thank you very much for being such a lovely audience.
It's been an amazing evening from the moment we walked in till now. I don't know where the time flew, and beautifully curated by Kripal and food lovers. Another event.
One of the most fabulous experiences I have had in recent years.
Thanks to Oterra, thanks to Kripal, thanks to all of you.
Amazing hospitality, amazing taste of food. Thank you very much.
I didn't think I came to Oterra, I didn't think I came to Italy, but I think Italy kind of came to me in 6 courses and wines and the experience and the people. Thank you so much for a great evening.
Oh, it was fantastic. I think thanks for the 6-course meal, and it was like we almost were in Italy.
I just have to say this has been an amazing meal. We're all so satisfied, and Gusto d'Italia, run by food lovers, curated by Kripal and the food lovers team, along with the Oterra Hotel and Chef Banerjee, was just outstanding.
This by far will rate as one of the finest Italian meals that I've had. Thank you very much again, food lovers, kudos, and well done.
The chefs have curated a simply superb menu. The wines that went with, and this is one of its kind where the wines are not paired, and the guests were allowed to choose their own wines. I think that gave also a freedom to guests and the customers to choose. And a fantastic evening.
For last 10 days, we didn't really cut corners anywhere. We didn't compromise on anything. So far as the food quality or the service quality was concerned, everything was top notch tonight, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I can give a pat on my own back and say that we have done it. Thank you.
As a head of the hotel, and I'm really proud of this event. Looking forward to see and to do more of this kind of event with Kripal and Food Lovers team. And thank you very much, Kripal. You've been fantastic, and your team was fabulous for the last 1 week. Pretty much in touch with us and making sure that everything is going well. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
So this is what it takes to curate, to put together an experience like this. We've had 38 guests, and I think we've got about 75 to 80 staff here, from the kitchen to the service, to bring those plates, to bring that 7-course dinner and stage it to absolute perfection. Fantastic. This has been a fantastic evening here at Alloro at the Oterra, Electronic City, Bengaluru. So until the next episode of Gourmet on the Road, stay safe and happy eating. Fantastic, chefs. Fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, share and leave a comment. If you'd like to support Food Lovers TV, do log on to foodlovers.in and hit the Support Food Lovers banner. Links in the description below. Happy eating.